All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we'll be covering FFIE and IDEX, and then I'm going to throw TOON in onto this last one. So I've been hearing some rumblings about TOON, and I'm not going to lie, I think it's a really interesting chart, all right? There's some moving averages that need to break, but if they do, there's some silly things that can definitely happen with TOON. So I think it's worth putting on the team's radar, okay? Look, FFIE, you can see it. It's a beautiful monster 17% day, but really what I'm seeing is a break of this 100, right? Obviously, doing it once is nice. Doing it twice matters. We've broken it once and failed. We've broken it once and failed. Hopefully, this one's a little different, but I'm liking what I'm seeing for sure, all right? So we'll talk about that shortly. IDEX is another one. Look, IDEX it's been really 50-50 for me, all right? You know I'm not here to like hope and pray, right? Like the lines tell me what to do and I attack from there, and man, it's been so close, but again, today I think was a really, really important day, and hopefully tomorrow gives us that confirmation, all right? But before we go any further, what are we gonna do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video on the internet, comment anything good or bad. Really, whatever you can do does help me out, especially if you can share this. I'm not the best at doing that, but hey, just being here and giving me your time is super, super appreciated, all right? So look, FFIE, we've been really, really well, then bad, then well, then bad. Like this thing is just, it's close. But I think actually today is a really important day, all right? So again, I always there's this old game that I remember when I was a kid called Don't Break the Ice, all right? You can hit the ice so many times before it eventually does break, right? So you hit the 100, can't quite do it. You hit the 100, can't quite do it. Really, most of this was hitting it a lot too, right? Another day, another day, another day. We finally break it, and look, tomorrow must confirm, okay? We're coming down a little bit, but that's okay. In my head, we're holding. We only came down 1% after a 17, almost 18% gain. Like, that's not a bad thing, okay? I really think the easy money line right here is 31. All right, 31, 32. If we can get over this candle, the tallest candle to the left, man, there's a lot of reason to believe this is coming to 40. That's an easy 33% swing right here. Give me a second. I got to let my cat out. 1 second. I'm so sorry. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, my gosh. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. But again, I mean, there is so much to like here, all right? Look, this is not a bad RSI at all. That's a very, very healthy 68 that can still go up to 78, maybe even 80 something, you know what I mean? So plenty of room to go up. We are in a positive MACD that looks like it wants to keep going up as well. And look, volume's been pretty insignificant the last few days. This one doesn't quite hit the 50 average, but definitely got us closer. And again, 78 million shares is a lot, but we want a little more. We really want to push this like 115, 120, 130, right? And I think tomorrow that actually kind of seems like it might be realistic, but I like FFIE. I think there's a lot of reason to watch it tomorrow. And again, just get me over 32 cents. And there's a lot of reason to want to jump in and hopefully get most of that 30% gain. You know what I mean? After that, just look. We have actually touched the 200 right there and right there. All right, this one was a little further away, but hey, I'm glad we at least wicked it right here. Did we actually touch it? Yeah, high of the day was 0.49, moving average was 0.49. So that's great, okay? Actually, as I look at it, we were just under it. I think we just missed it. Either way, look, it's not going to be easy to get over the 200 moving average. Number one, it's the last of the 5, right? Like this is the Bowser of our Mario superhero game, right? From there, again, like I said, just look at this line. This line has been a near impossibility just to get to, let alone break, right? So don't underestimate it. A swing from 30 to 40 could be great, but if this breaks for real, I'm going to just draw this at least because I guess there's a little bit of a plateau right here. But yeah, we'd go from 40 to 50, which would be another 25%, and then maybe a really quick climb from 50 to 75, if not a little higher. So look, FFIE, there is a lot to like. Let's see what the weekly looks like. battling with the 20 fail, battling with the 20 fail. Look, it's still very, very, very early in the week. A lot can happen between Tuesday and Friday. This is really positive. This again is making me say, hey, I think we want to come up to 48 cents. We're at 30 right now. You're almost adding 66%. Come on. There's a lot to like here. There really, really is. But one more time, just don't underestimate the 100 until you're sure. We've literally smashed it and looked like we were going to keep going just to drop hard. We did a really nice break right here with a positive MACD, a decent RSI, and really good volume just to fail it, right? We've seen the pop and drop. We've seen the pop and drop. I really am not saying that I think we're going to see a pop and drop, but you cannot pretend it's not realistic. And just to throw it out there, like this thing can definitely come down at 29, maybe even 28 cents. Again, that's less than a 10% swing on what could be a really good way up. So in a lot of ways, the risk reward might really be there actually. FFIE, I like it a lot, a lot. IDEX, here's another one. All right, let me just zoom out a little bit. What have I been talking about a lot was this 100 moving average oscillation. All right, we go above it, we go below it, we go above it, we actually don't go below it, and it now kind of looks like we're ready to go back up. Okay, my only issue with this chart is volume. Okay, I wish volume was just a little better, but that's obviously a good RSI and an even better number than the last one. This is still a positive MACD. Yeah, it's not like high in the positive, but hey, it's not below our negative dash line, right? So that is good. And relatively speaking, it's kind of looking like it wants to curve back up and take over the red line, right? So in some ways, this is okay. This is okay. I just wish this was better. This stock is just missing some volume. It really, really is. But at this point, look, it's what we are over the 8 and the 20 as of today, right? We closed above it. Where are we after hours? Just curious. We're holding. I'll take it. Over the 8 and the 20 is a good thing. All right. End of the day, I need a little bit more to believe, and I think we need to cross 10 cents. All right, I've been really loud about this 11-cent line, and I think I'm not going to delete it just yet. The one thing that does suck is our 100 moving average is at 14, right? So what used to be a better space and a much better like movement really just kind of isn't, right? So maybe in some ways that justifies lowering this a little bit to 10 cents. And then hopefully taking 10 to 14 cents, which is basically a 40% swing. Look, between IDEX and FFIE, both of them are giving potentials of really high double-digit gains tomorrow after doing them today as well, right? So these are the kind of stocks we like to look at. This is why a sustainable uptrend is what I talk about, right? Like, I'm not here for pump and dumps. I'm here hoping to put my money in a stock, go to bed, wake up, and just be rolling in cash. Like, that's how you make money in the stock market. And believe me, you don't need to be a long-term trader to do something like that, all right? You just need to know what sustainability looks like and what doesn't, right? So tomorrow, just make me believe, all right? Make me believe we've escaped these 4 lines. Make me believe that we want to come here to the 200 and then just look, all right? We've been over the 200 before. It's popped it and it's ran. It's popped it and it's run. You know, like this thing knows what to do if it can get over it. It's literally never touched the purple 200 line since arguably here, since July of 2021. Damn, a full 2 years since we've even touched the purple line. Maybe we're at least due for a touch. I don't know if we'll break it. I think that 14 cents will be hard to break. But again, basically we're at 9. Let's call it 10 cents to 14. That's a 40 burger, all right? So interesting weekly here. That's a good RSI. That's not a horrible MACD. Just bad volume. But in some ways, this is actually kind of saying we want to come to 18. All right. Like I said, we need a little bit more. We just need a little bit more. But I like both of these a lot, actually. I think they both have real reasons to look at it. But just one more time, we have been struggling with the 100 for, roughly 2 months now, right? Half of June and almost all of July, right? So, and before this little moment, we've literally done nothing with the 100, just like the 200, right? So maybe in some ways it's also a little foreshadowing of what's going to happen when we get here, okay? And look, you hear my words. I actually do think we're going to get here. I'm not going to pretend I didn't just say that, right? But maybe we get here and we kind of like oscillate or stay. Hopefully not as long. Hopefully it's not a month and a half of going horizontal on the 200. But yeah, I can see maybe like a week or two of deciding what's going to happen with the 200 and then running. That said, man, this RSI is low enough to where maybe we hit it and run. Just a bunch of things can happen, especially when we know that this stock can get into the 400 million shares, 600 million shares, right? So just let's see if volume can come, this thing can run. But again, I like both, all right? Let's take a look at TOON, all right? And I don't know this stock, so what do I always do? I like to zoom out and look at a stock, okay? So overall, I'll say this stock is definitely well below the moving averages more than it's above it. Okay, I think that's super easy to see. That said, when it breaks it, it knows how to break it. And please don't have $100 dreams. Like, don't think to yourself, oh man, it went silly and it can do it again. That said, if we can go from like 2 to, you know, something up here, those are some silly percentages, all right? And that's kind of what the goal is here, right? And I really think the money line is this 100 moving average, all right? It's you can see it too. It's literally living on this horizontal right here. And it was a little bit of a horizontal, like this is a really important line to break. If this breaks, man, it could be a real quick climb to there. I don't even think that's very significant. I actually would raise it to here, top of this guy. And then from there, you're basically coming here. Then I mean here, I guess I'll draw this just to put something. But yeah, I mean, I see why the interest is here, all right? Because again, it's kind of like the same thing with Tupperware. I think Tupperware had a little bit more of these like extreme gap fills when you break resistances. But yeah, roughly speaking, if you can break this line, this 255, I know I drew these two, but you might go from the 100 to the 200 really quickly all the way up to 4 something. Right? Like that's almost a 50 burger if it hits right there. Okay. So I do see the interest, and look, that's a good healthy RSI. That's a MACD that's not that far from zero and looks like it wants to keep going, right? That's a good divergence right there, right? Divergence just means the two lines are going away. And more than anything, I love today's volume. Give me confirmation tomorrow. Get me over 219. Let's go a little higher. Get me over 222. Let's call it 222. I think 222 is an interesting thing. But again, for me, it's 255. I actually would be okay completely skipping all of this and then maybe just jumping in 255 onward. But yeah, I see it. I really do. I see the gaps. I see a very long downtrend. You know what I mean? Like there are things, but just remember, bad things happen under the 8 and the 20. It's over it right now, but it's definitely been under the two lines for a while. So hopefully tomorrow, sorry to zoom in and out so much, but hopefully tomorrow makes me believe we've beat these lines. And then once I genuinely believe the 100's destroyed, that is when TOON will get interesting. All right. I don't know if this is Cartoon Network. I always see the word Cartoon Studio, but yeah, I don't know. Look, this is not a great weekly chart. Okay, just looking at this weekly chart, you can even see it. Since basically almost 2 years ago, since August of 2021, we have been well under the 8 and the 20. You can easily see the orange line, and the stock is most of the time under it. Not only that, we're actually still under the 8 as well, right? So again, this 255 line is almost identical to this 20 moving average, and I think it really stresses how hard it's going to be. But if this can break again, there's reasons to say, man, we might be coming up to the 450s. Okay, so I see it. I see the interest in TOON. Let me know if there's any news or something, right? Like, I don't know if there's any reason why this thing's getting a little extra interest, but I see it. And my only, I don't want to say caution, but I guess my only real thing is just, it might be worth waiting for that 255 to break. So, hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, as always, thank you.